Gary, well, thank you very much for joining me. Spare parts, now I came in here knowing very little about it, and I imagine a lot of our users are still slightly in the dark about it. So can you tell us a little about the core concepts and story of the game?
Yeah, so Spare Parts is about these two robots who find themselves stranded on a planet. They discover a spaceship that's still working, and the ship's computer tells them that if they find enough spare parts, they can repair the ship and escape the planet. Because on the planet is also the people who dropped them there with this evil race called the Crowfax. Unfortunately, you have to smash.
So in terms of the gameplay, it's kind of a combination of action and platforming.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of co-op mechanics in it, because we really wanted to make a game that two people could play together, like online or offline, and just have a really good fun time playing it. Like, I love playing games like this with my girlfriend, so it was a really good will she like this, we'll like this, and yeah, so we took that approach to pretty much everything in the game. So there's some mechanics in the game you can only do with 2 players, so yeah, we wanted to make it so when you played it single player, you really feel like you need another player there.
We have the 2 lead characters behind us right here, so what are these guys' names?
So this is Marty on the left, and this is Chip. So these are the 2 robots you play as. These are the 2 guys who've been stranded on the planet along with all the trash. And these are our main 2 heroes in the game. So there are other robots in the game you've got to collect, but these are the main 2 you start with. So these are our heroes. So we had a bunch of nice idols which the robots went into when you left the joypads alone for a couple of seconds, but what we also introduced was the muckabout button. So that was a certain thing you could do to bring them into little dance-off moves. You could also press it in a different way and play rock, paper, scissors. So it was all part of getting them to feel like kind of nice, fun characters and not just kind of empty, metallic robots.
Well, the idea was to make the second player not just someone who was there sharing experience, but someone who was quite valuable. So we made it so the idea was they were a power-up. So if you both do a double jump at the same time, you perform a high five and get your health back. So yeah, so you collect these action parts through the game. Some of them give you abilities to push strong blocks or smash larger things in the environment. But if you use those together at the same time, if you time the punch perfectly, then you do a shockwave attack and knocks out the enemies. So it's all about working together to time your attacks and take out enemies and beat each other up and steal each other's coins. Yeah, there's definitely an element of co-opetition. So if you're...
you heard it here first.
you obviously have separate coin totals, so that tends to be quite... It's amazing, actually. You give the controller to 2 people to play the game, and someone's like, oh, I've got more coins than you, and then the other one's like, oh, and they beat each other up and steal each other's coins. So we made sure we kept those 2 totals in, so at the end of the level you can see who's got the most coins and claim your victory.
They're very kind of unique looking robot characters as well. Not not particularly derivative of anything I could come to mention. So I mean, did you go through a lot of iterations when you were designing these robot characters and indeed all the other characters?
Yeah. I mean, luckily we're massive kind of sci-fi geeks anyway, so we've got 30 years of experience of kind of watching every sci-fi movie under the sun. And it did start off as broad as what do we think's cool, what would appeal to different age categories, and we just put up pictures of everything, and then kind of went through a filtration process of extracting he's cool, he'd appeal more to boys, to girls. I mean, in addition to the 2 main guys here, we have got another 8 robots, so we've got a real kind of mixture of looks and feels to them, so hopefully there should be enough for everybody.
We came up with a mechanic which was the X scanners, so you get them very early in the game, and then you can use them to scan the environment, and they show you an icon of an action part you can use on the environment. So instantly I haven't got that part, I should move on, and when I get that part I'm coming back to this place, and it's worked out quite well.
Good stuff. I imagine there's loads of collectibles in game. I saw loads of coins being collected. How do they contribute to the game?
So you have lots of collectibles actually. We have 100 chip parts, which are the main point of the game. If you collect enough chip parts, you can escape the planet. But it's also that 100% completion of I really want to find them all. We have action parts which give you new abilities. We also have lots of coins to collect and fight over, and when you get those, you can use them to buy concept art from the ship's hub. Or you can also upgrade your action parts to have stronger attacks or quicker attacks and things like that. And we also have this almost like a Star Trek holodeck, which is like a training program. So you can find data discs, which gives you new programs to play in there, and then you can compete on Xbox Live to get the high scores.
There's a huge amount of diversity in the game visually and in terms of the gameplay. I mean, would you say the amount of effort that was put into it was kind of equivalent to what would be put into a typical retail title?
My kind of main goal as art director was to get that box product look and feel. Do you know what I mean? There is a certain feel to the titles out there already on Xbox Live. There's a kind of lot of 2D stuff, a lot of side-scrolling stuff, because we wanted to create immersive worlds that, at a first glance or even a second glance or even a first hour's playthrough, you wouldn't know whether you were playing an Xbox Live product or a disc product.